Hey, welcome to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you by the coaches and clients of RT Fitness Durham, Sunderland, and of course the Barbell Club and the Barbell Club Online, where we take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready. On today's episode, we have Sunderland coach Rick. Me and Rick speak some hints and tips for the new year. We talk about his transition from the coaching style of what he did before to what he does now. Absolute top bloke, and also he talks about his journey in the process of all of that. So give it a like, give it a share, follow the page, leave us some comments, and enjoy the show. You got your coffee?
I've drank it, man.
Have you?
I've necked it.
Oh well. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go. Mr. Rick Frame. Who is Coach Rick?
Coach Rick now, yeah. Coach Rick.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Who's
go
Coach?
for it.
Yeah. Who's Coach Rick?
Yeah, who is Coach Rick?
Yes.
So, well, obviously, from a client, education, in education all the time, love teaching, became a fitness instructor, 10 years ago now, 11 years ago now, and then just recently decided to make the jump into coaching.
What are we in now? 2 months?
2 months, going into the third month, I suppose now, yeah. Going into the third month of coaching at RT Fitness. So, and Barbell Club, specifically the Barbell Club.
It's under one umbrella.
It is,
I don't know how I mix it up, but yeah.
It is, and thoroughly loving it.
Yeah?
Thoroughly loving it at the moment, yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, no, it is.
It'd be fucking shit to hear, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. No, I don't want to go back. Yeah, absolutely love it. So love the kind of, people who I've become friends with, and now I've kind of flipped that, and now I'm coaching them. That was a little bit of a learning curve.
I was going to say, how's that transition been then?
It's not been too bad because the people are lovely. Everyone's lovely.
Yeah.
So it is a challenge because I think they're expecting us to go easy on them, and I don't. But yeah, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant, and it's good to now help those people.
Yeah.
And it's just love. There's a lot of love in the room.
Going just from what we just literally said that second off camera. So obviously what the training you were doing before, the teaching you were doing before, tell us about that transition then. So, because obviously what you did.
Massive change. So group fitness for 10 years. So for the past, since lockdown really, I would do 3 hours on a Thursday, 3 hours on a Friday. I would teach group fitness. So I would be taking the people through the moves, through the choreography, a pre-choreographed class. So I'd be burning the 6,000 calories over the course of the 2 days with everybody else. So, mixed martial arts style aerobics, aerobic based, kind of studio weightlifting. And now I just stand there and shout at people, give them cues, get them to lift stuff up. It's a big change. It's a big change in my mindset because I feel as though I'm not doing anything. But in actual fact, my eyes are constantly on them, observing them, looking for those little increments where they can just improve the form. So it is a big change, but it's a lovely intellectual change to be able to take that time with a few people rather than shout at 30.
Yeah. So, you said it's actually harder though to coach a smaller group.
It is. So with 30, you're kind of scanning the room and you're looking for those people whose form isn't on point, and you're kind of giving a general kind of cue to improve everybody, something that's really easy. So if, like we said, with a squat, squeeze your bum cheeks together, and that's going to activate the glutes. Yeah. I haven't got time in an hour's class with 30 people there to say, well, your glutes, if you squeeze them, you activate them. Just squeeze your ass cheeks together. That's quite easy to get into and kind of work into the times and the music. Maybe it's because I've just done it for 10 years. It's kind of automatic now.
Right, yeah.
And then going into a totally different mindset where people might be only doing 6 to 12 reps, and you've got to look for those changes, or people who are already good at what they're doing and trying to find that way to improve them again so they can get that progress, so they can get that change. It's a challenge. It's a good challenge, but it is a learning curve. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Did you not?
No, maybe a little bit of arrogance crept in.
Yeah. Done it for 10 years.
I've done it for 10 years, but all I'm going to say is squeeze your ass cheeks. No. There's much more finesse and fidelity needed in it. So.
And then trying to get a little bit more out of people who's been here for years.
Yeah. That's the one thing that where my focus is on developing myself as a coach, is knowing when to push those people, because you've got to try and fight that urge for them to go, I'm fine, thanks. You know they can do more. They probably know they can do more, but it's that constant thing of, am I going to push them too much? Am I going to push them past that challenge zone and into something that they can't do?
Yeah.
or do you dial back? And that's something where I'm still kind of finding my feet with. So, you know, I don't want to.
And that's probably a mind thing as well, of where you have known them, and probably like you don't want them to think you're a dick as well.
Oh, no, I don't mind them being a dick. No. Yeah, that's it. The dickish, the better.
Yeah.
I gave them a little finisher the other day, and one of them was like, "You dick."
Yeah.
So I know I'm doing the right one there. No, it's more when you just know, or if they've got an injury, or if there's something you know they have to work around, and it's just thinking, I know they can do a bit more, and they might not want to, and it's just finding that conversation and finding that gentle way of pushing them, because again, everybody's different and everybody responds to a different stimulus, the carrot, the stick, and kind of that one. So that's me, the thing that I'm loving learning and developing at the minute, and challenging myself with.
I like that. But, I'm going to see it in action.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it in action.
Yeah, you're going to see it tonight.
I've never done the. I mean, obviously I've taken carnage.
Yeah.
That carnage and like strength and conditioning style sessions has always been me, and obviously weightlifting. I've never been in that environment of what you've done for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be the same going into that.
Yeah, it's a strange one, because you drilled it, especially the company that I worked for, the brand that I worked for 10 years. There's a very specific way to do it. And I think actually some of it, because it was very science backed, you know, they would like kind of peer review the stuff they were doing with universities in America. It was very, very scientific, and it worked. It worked really well, and it gave us some really good tips, which I can transfer into barbell.
Oh yeah.
Which is brill. So I really do like that. And it's, as I say, it can become automatic, because you've got an hour. For instance, one of the classes, 10 songs, each song's a different muscle group, but you might be doing 1,000 reps. The one thing I didn't like is that traditional bodybuilding, the rep and the range and the kind of form was all very different. So what they would call a deadlift is really an RDL.
Right, okay.
And it's just for safety, because the people coming into a group fitness class
Yeah.
are not specifically the audience who would come into something like barbell and want to do traditional weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, stuff like that.
But do you think those people, with the rise of like, we're getting a lot of older people now actually contact us, and we don't ever even advertise to them. So I'm talking like 55-year-old plus people actually messaging us, signing up as well, because of the rise of the knowledge in weightlifting and how it's better for when you're older.
Yeah.
So all of our social medias, even aren't targeted to any of these people or anything. And I think like Sarah signed up a 64-year-old and a 60-year-old the other day, and it was like, how have they found us? But when they've been on the phone saying, are you the only weightlifting program around? Do you think maybe it's like those kind of clients where you said like, oh, but they're not maybe specific towards barbell? Do you think that then might end up?
Oh, it's 100% a gateway drug.
Yeah.
From my own personal experience, I went in as a participant, very much like now. Went in as a participant, thought, actually, I think I would like to teach this, and went in there, kind of went into that. So I did my level 2 gym instructor course in order to get certified for the class, and then out of my own personal education went and did a level 3 personal trainer course just to learn. But it 100% the kind of, because it does increase your strength. There's always that 6 week. If you've done nothing and you start lifting weights, no matter how light it is, it's going to produce a response. And then obviously you will hit a limit in those fitness classes, and it's a gateway drug into the weightlifting. It's interesting you say that, because the brand, I won't mention who they are, they've done a recent review and they said they want to target on 18 to 30s.
Right?
And
really?
Yeah, 18 to 30s. And so the music and the moves, the choreography, it's a very, very aiming at very fast moves. Personally, not something I particularly gel with, and yet the people I saw in my classes are nowhere near that age. That age group are not going into fitness classes.
Yeah.
They're going into the gym on their own. And so it's funny you should say that, but again, because we know the research is actually saying, and what's becoming popular is that the aging population are realising that weightlifting is a brilliant way to stave off kind of health problems in the future and maintain your fitness. So it's interesting that there's two jarring kind
That's
of views.
Crazy to hear that.
Yeah, it is, because if you look at any of the classes, and if you look at kind of some of the Facebook groups from instructors, group fitness instructors, they're saying the same thing. The aging population are the ones who are absolutely packing it out. It's the 40 plus.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And again, we see that, but I think 100% any fitness class, regardless of who it is and who it's from, group fitness class, always should be that thing that helps people who are a bit nervous, kind of give them that confidence into the world of weightlifting, small group PT, doing it yourself. I think it's a brilliant way to do that, and get that change, get that love of fitness.
18 to 30. I feel as though, because we're in our age bracket.
Yes, we are. We are.
Fuck off, Ben. We're in our age bracket. I might just ask where. I see it as this, like, say 18 to 30. I think those people tend to do it alone, type thing. I think maybe it's the 30 to 40 Carnegie type, in like the group stuff what you've done.
Yep.
And then I think once they're hitting probably 50 plus, to be fair, 50 plus and now more like weightlifting. Yeah,
there's been a proliferation of the information, like obviously the kind of as your muscles start to deteriorate from 40 plus, obviously very slowly, and you can kind of reverse that and slow it down to a point with consistent weightlifting, and also how it protects like bone health, osteoporosis and stuff like that. So it has proliferated, and which is why we're probably getting more people taking up weights. Especially the big push with women and like menopause, perimenopause, and weightlifting is one of those things that can support rather. I don't know, I'm not a scientist, I haven't done the studies, but there's a lot of stuff in the kind of news and in research that says that can support people going through that. So
I didn't think we'd be talking about perimenopause on this show, but let's go.
Oh no, I'm not an expert, but it is that thing. It does, but with that information being put out there with the aging population, and we do have globally an aging population, and if weightlifting is one of those things that science says is beneficial for you, then we are going to see an uptick in those age groups.
100%, but this, like, I don't know, I was taking the Pacific, but it is like menopausal women and stuff like that. It is getting put into them about weightlifting as well, and it is mad because you probably do see our results, like fucking oiled up photo shoots, right? It's mad how that's not actually appealing to the 18 to 30s. Do you know what I mean?
No, it isn't.
It's appealing to the others.
Yeah, it is a strange one, and it is. I think it's again, and probably as we go through, as we become even more elder statesmen, shall we say?
Yes.
That viewpoint will probably change again. Those aesthetics.
You in the beard, though, aren't
I know. It's just genetics, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's coming through though. But it's going to come through, and that aesthetic is going to change again. You know, so the RT of the future, the next generation, the oil thing might go, and it might be something else by then. You know, I don't know, Mickey Mouse ears or something.
Well, that's an extra add-on. It basically, when I was talking to Ben before, it's like people sign up for results, but they stay for the community thing. Yeah. But I think where we have had these people who get in contact who we don't even appeal to, they are actually saying, well, you're the only weightlifting program around. Yeah. So, and that's what I know I need to do. I've read about this, I've read about that. I'm going through the menopause, and I've heard weightlifting's the best, and they are signing up for it. And pretty amazing, really. It is.
It's something that definitely should be capitalised on by ourselves. For our clients, because it's something, you know, we're not offering specialist advice, but we know that what we do is going to give them a solid foundation for health in the future. And that is something that, as the older clients are coming in, we should be focusing on, because we know that the young ones are going to come in, they're going to lift, they're going to look good. It's those people who are doing it to be able to, you know, play with the grandkids, to stave off arthritis, you know, type 2 diabetes and the various other health conditions that plague as we get older. It's something we've got to capitalise on for our community as they all get older. It's something, definitely, as I'm getting that elderly gentleman status myself.
I mean, what's the age range in your session? Who do you take?
So I've got a big range. So I've got Deb. And then I've got Megan. So I've got two people at both age ranges, and everybody else in between. And same as well, I've got a bunch of lads at the 5:30 session, again, ranging from mid-30s to mid-50s. Yeah. So again, nice big age range there. And it's strange to see the different strength levels as well, because you don't necessarily think, oh, well, the older one will be weaker, the younger one will be stronger. Nah, everybody's different at everything. Everyone's got those different stats.
So how old is Megan? Do you know?
I believe she's in her 20s. I believe she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
We generally don't ask.
Yeah.
Don't ask the ladies.
I bet she gets on with Deb.
She does it. Well, who can't get on with Deb? Who can't get on with Deb? Yeah, and it is. And what I love as well, jumping back to that thing about me pushing people, even if I don't push them, or I maybe say, okay, well, we'll stay there and maybe we'll add that on in the next set or something, and you'll have Deb at the back, get them up, get them weights up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even if I'm not the hype man, she's the hype woman behind us. So
Yes.
it's almost like being coached twice, because she is not letting anybody lift light, and she is not letting anybody not progress. She is dragging them all with her, and it's lush to see, and it's brilliant as a coach to help everybody through. So
this is the third podcast I've done today, by the way, and this is the first time Deb's been mentioned, and she normally gets a mention every fucking podcast. So yeah.
Well, there's another one for her. There's another one.
But yeah, no, it's was I talking? I forget now. I was talking to it. Probably. Oh, it was Dan. Because obviously where he is a brand new coach, you've seen this in action for years, haven't you? Yeah. And he was saying about one of his girls, like she's went from zero, because he actually started coaching on her first day. Right. So he's like, she's been his client. And she's went up like, not that great, like not that heavy, like 32.5 kilos. And I says, Dan, your perception has been warped by all the other people in that gym because of how strong they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what. Oh God, Deb. Was it fucking Deb again? Well, I don't know what Deb's benching, but I bet you it's like a lot.
Well, yeah, she's kind of one of the strongest in the group.
Yeah.
And it, you know, if you were to compare everybody, she blows people out the water. But again, everybody's on their own journey.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter because everybody's improving, and that's what that's what we have to keep talking, and that is something we do have to keep reassuring people, because everybody compares. We were just talking about my group. So my group that I train with on a morning, we're talking. Louise was saying, "Oh, but everyone's lifting heavy, and I lift this." And it's like, but you came in, you were lifting like 30 kilograms on the deadlift, and you've just lifted 90 today.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, and it's just reassuring people that everybody's journey is individual. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much it is, whether you've got little donuts on or whether you've got every bumper plate in the bloody gym. Yeah. Your journey's your journey, and then weights going up, that's your personal best. Ring the bell, whatever. That's what you celebrate. So it is. Yeah, it's good.
I enjoy it. Because Dan, obviously, where we said about this 32, it was like I said, if you were ever in a commercial gym or anything, you'll never see women lifting 32, or very rare. Yeah. I mean, probably more so now. I know people do, gym girl people and stuff like that, but I think he has been warped by looking around, and like, because he's went into two where he's got Nicola and Emily, and them are like pushing out 50 kilo bench presses like for 5 reps. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then that becomes his normal. Yeah. But it's not normal. No.
I think you've got to always, everybody's a clean slate. And it's a hard thing when you're seeing everybody you're taking part in things like strongest or 1 rep max days, and those weights are flying up. It's quite easy to think everybody's strong, or everybody's strong to the point of X or Y. Yeah. And it's not that person who's lifting 25, that's their personal best, and they've smashed it today. And it is something you have to remind yourself of sometimes, I think. It is.
And trying to remind those new people, when you do get a new client, it's like, she's been here 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people want to jump up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah, it is. There's obviously other clients as well who you have to hold on to. Hold on, let's take a time. And I'm somebody who's guilty of that sometimes. Matty's always with me, like, we'll do this today, you've got Friday, and then Friday comes and I'm like, I think I can't move me on. So yeah, you do have to hold those people back as well. Not for any other reason than just they've got to have time to adapt. The form's got to be right before you can move them on, or else there is no progression, or there's not the optimal progression that we want to see in those clients, because we want the very best for them. So sometimes they need the reins pulling back as well as sometimes letting go.
So how do you find you being a coach, but being coached now from Matty?
So I love being coached by Matty, because one of the things I'm very much aware of is that plateau, that professional plateau you get. So after a couple of years, you think you know everything, and it's very easy, unless you force yourself to develop yourself, to just hit that plateau. Now, I don't think I know everything at all, but having somebody like Matty who's kind of, studying stuff, he's at the forefront, like the bleeding edge of knowledge. Yeah. he's just got those little tips that totally change it. And there's stuff I've stole from him, there's stuff he's asked about with me. So it's brilliant to have that professional dialogue. So he's coaching me, but we're still talking like, so coaching, what would you do here? What would you do there? It's brilliant to have that, because he's given me knowledge that I wouldn't necessarily have took on board, or just because I possibly wouldn't have read it or wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. But I do, it's very much like Batman. I'm the client on the morning, I'm the coach on the night. So I come in, I can't even work out what weights I'm lifting. I'm just there, just tell us what to do. And then on a night, I have to flip that into telling people what to do and being there for them.
He's good, Matty. Big way like Ben is. I keep saying Ben. He's just sitting over there. They are constantly learning. That's what I like about Matty and Ben. They probably like me. I don't know. Do you watch YouTube all the time?
Every single day. Like.
Yeah, like literally when I'm eating or something, I'll have YouTube on and it'll be some form of fitness thing or something. Yeah. No, it's not even business related. It is actually a fitness thing, and it might just be James Smith or something like that. But I am watching, I'm absorbing it in. And yeah, that's with Matty. Just pick his fucking brains. Oh,
it's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. I think you've got to do that. You've got to be open to, I think, when you've done something for a while, it's so easy to be, I am the font of that knowledge. I mean, as a teacher, that's something we get drilled into. You're not the expert, you know, especially as you go up the ladder in education and you become maybe a head teacher, an assistant head teacher, there's a pitfall of you are the expert, and it's like, no, you're the expert of you may have expertise in something, but you're not the de facto expert. You should always seek to enhance your learning, or to call in experts and use their learning and lever it to your goals. So having people like Ben, having people like Matty here who you can talk to, who you can ask for stuff. Just watching Alex doing some warm-ups, you know, and I'm thinking, I'm going to nick that. And I've watched him use a couple of my things as well, and it's brilliant. Just that community, that collaboration, because it just keeps you kind of ahead, and obviously that pays dividends to the clients.
I've actually done the same for years. So with each and every coach who has actually came in to play with us, I've watched them, I've listened to them, and then I have taken something from them.
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to be the best coach in the world or whatever else, but I like learning all the time, and I am always learning all the time. I honestly, like now one arm pull downs. I'd never even done one until Luke took us through 1-to-1 a few years ago.
Yeah.
And now everybody does it. It's a staple.
It's the barbell exercise of choice, isn't it? No, and it isn't it? It works well. There was a little thing the other day with one of those, is just taking yourself off centre, so your arms moving vertically up and down, which takes that little bit of pressure off the elbow. And I was like, whoa, who would have thought just a couple of inches leaning to one side changes the dynamic, and for me felt much more effective. And it's lovely to get those little tips.
Was that Matty who said that? Or?
Yeah, it was Matty who said that. And bizarrely, I'd also seen it on something I'd been watching as well, on a different, I think it was a bicep curl, about just tipping over to the side so that the plane of movement's more vertical. Right, okay. And it was like, oh, of course, yeah. And it's just that link and that learning, and it's being in that collaborative environment with other coaches and stuff like that, which I think is, you know, without blowing our own trumpets, I think it's one of our strengths, is having that collaboration.
Yeah, you do. You do indeed. Why do you have 2 jobs? No, I mean, not from like, you do a full-time job, and I say, then you do this on top. I mean, you did that on top in any way before. You did for 10 years. Like,
without going through the entire history of my fitness, but so dead unhealthy, decided that when I had kids, needed to get sorted, started going to the gym, did actually some group fitness, started the classes that I taught, really enjoyed it, was at the gym as much as I could be to get fit, absolutely loved it, and then thought, you know what, I can do this as well. Actually, it was a PE teacher said, could you teach us that? And I went on YouTube and I just memorised the moves and thought, God, I can do this. So fast forward, I just love it. It is 2 jobs, but it's not a job. It's a hobby. Yeah. It's a hobby. Sacked's not the word. If I left teaching, if I won the lottery and left teaching tomorrow, I possibly would be all right with that. But I wouldn't stop teaching. I wouldn't stop I wouldn't stop coaching. I wouldn't stop instructing. I wouldn't stop fitness, because I have got a love for it, and I do like helping people. I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. I love helping people. I love seeing people get better than they were when they came through the door. Yeah. And that's why I do it. That's
well,
why I do it.
you're a teacher.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it is, because I'd be like, yeah, if people are going to look at me going, teacher, no, he can't be asked. No, I can be, I do actually genuinely love it. Yeah, you get challenging, luckily I haven't so far. There will be a challenging client who might be difficult or reluctant to do something and need lots and lots of support or lots and lots of different strategies to get them where they need to be. There's obviously challenging kids in education, those ones who you kind of, they're biting on something thinking, please just let the lesson end. But seeing those people progress, seeing those people get some self-belief and be able to do the things that they never thought they were going to do. Because I waddled into a gym in 2011 and the first thing they do is said, let's do press-ups. And I'm thinking, I can't do one. Yeah. And I was very lucky to have a brilliant instructor who was like, yeah, you're going to do press-ups. And just gave us a few little cues so I felt successful, which kept it going. In the same way that my first day when I joined Barbell, the first exercise was pull-ups. And I'm like, not without a crane. Yeah. And I was able to do one, yes, with, about 14 bands, but I was able to do one. And that sense of accomplishment. And then obviously, removing the bands getting lighter, being able to do one unassisted, and then obviously getting better and better each time. Being able to lunge from, not being able to lunge, not being able to do a burpee when I was doing Carnage. All of that accomplishment, all of that feeling is something I'm quite happy and willing to let everybody else experience because it's an amazing feeling. That.
It is indeed. This one will be out today, pre-recorded, listening to it. But no, I'm trying to think when this will be out. New Year's tips. Let's go New Year's tips.
New Year's tips. Don't do everything all at once.
Okay.
Don't do everything all at once, like I'm going to try and do. No, don't. Do one thing well first and aim for everything, but just do one thing first. So if you're going to get your steps in, just focus on getting your steps in. Just make sure you can be successful at one thing, because if you try and do everything, you're going to trip up, you're going to, admonish yourself, and that's going to stop kind of forming them good habits. Just incremental things. What can you do each day? And trying to plan out as best as possible what you're going to do. So if you're thinking, right, I'm going to be on a diet, hate that word, I'm going to eat better, right, so what are you going to eat? Because that's something I need to do. I need to know what I'm going to have so that I can stick to it and that I can go, right, okay. Because the minute I don't plan is the minute it falls down, as you know. As you know. So yeah, the sessions for me are easy because I love them, so I'm never going to not be there unless, my leg's fallen off or I've cut myself, cut my hand. But yeah, for me, steps in, if it's raining, right, fine, what else can you do? Can I paint the gym and get on a treadmill? Yeah. I've got my walking pad now. Or am I just going to get? Am I just going to get a coat? Am I just going to zip it up and am I just going to walk around? And yes, I'm soaking. I can get in the shower and warm up when I get back. It's just one little thing. What can you do well that day? If you're starting brand new, if you're a little bit more advanced, then obviously you can kind of build in a few more. But for brand new starters, what one thing can you do that day? And then the next day, what one thing can you do that day? And it's just slowly.
But everybody wants to do it now, Rick.
Yes, everybody would. I'd love to, drop a couple of stone in a night, but it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Not without a genie in a lamp. So it's going to have to be the small things. So obviously, I've got a 14-week plan till April. I know what I need to do. I'm going to knock off those 4 little goals that I've planned for myself every day. And that's all I'm going to focus on. Nothing else. I'm not going to try and I will worry about it and I will project forward. No, what am I going to do that day to make it successful? We're trying to help
other people, not you here.
It is, but I'm using the plan that we're given, and and that's what I mean. So I can only talk in the way that I would do it, and I would advise somebody else is just one at a time, slow increments.
I was going to say what it says on our cups.
Yes,
but,
yeah.
It's not that one.
It's not that one, no. Steps, nutrition, but even that can be a minefield for some people.
A big. Like, let's say Moira, she's 40, 3 kids. She wants to start a journey, and then because we bombard them with loads, we do, we do. But we always want to give them the truth. That's the thing. But it's hard. But you're right. The one thing. Yeah, cool.
I do. I think so. I think from my point of view, because I've got that unique thing of I'm the coach and the client at the same time. I can advise people who are struggling because I'm going through it myself.
Yeah.
So for me, got a horrendous sweet tooth. I find it very hard to stay away from the chocolate. What one thing have I changed that made us really successful last year and that I'm carrying on with this year is that I swapped out my chocolate for a grenade bar. Yes, it's not ideal calorie-wise. Yes, it's probably not ideal with all the sweeteners and shit-wise. However, it kept us off the chocolate and it got us the results. This year, the grenade bars are going out and I'm on Greek yogurt and fruit.
Right, okay.
Same calories, I can have a hell of a lot more, tastes amazing. If I want to really push the boat out, I get 5 grams of dark chocolate.
Yeah.
It gives us that. It gives us what I need to get to the next day.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a habit, and then I don't miss what I was addicted to, the sugar, do you know what I mean? So that for me is my kind of advice in pushing it forward, and that's what I'd say to somebody else. Find the thing that you can swap out, find the thing you're willing to swap out, and work it up from there, because that consistent change can then snowball, and then when you get the confidence and you get the little dopamine hit in your head, you can then carry that on with something else. Start getting your steps up, because you know where I'm like, oh, I'm really stressed, I just need something to eat. Somebody else might, and I know I do it, and I know it's a load of bollocks. I know it's me having it's like a kind of safety blanket, if you will, and I need to, like, I'm still going to be stressed even if I don't have that chocolate. I'll just be even more miserable. I'm going to have to live like that for the next 14 weeks. But steps wise, when people, I can't get my steps in, and it's like, so I'm a teacher, so I get home, I've got to deal with my own kids, you know, talk to them, help them with the homework, make the tea, obviously try and see my wife. I've got to try and coaching, I've got to try and mark kids' work, I've got to try and fit that all in and get me steps. And how do you have the time? Something can be given, something can be sacrificed there. So for instance, if I come in, good chance my kids are out with the mates, or playing on computers or doing the homework. So at that point I can do steps. Yeah. If I get in, do I sit and watch the telly, or do I mark a couple of books and maybe only watch 20 minutes of telly, or God forbid, don't watch the telly? It's making those little changes that seem like a big sacrifice, but at the end of the day, when you really think about it, it's not that much of a change.
And you can watch your telly on your walking pad?
Yeah, or even better, I mean, I've switched, I hardly watch TV now. Maybe we'll have an hour at a night before I go to bed, or I stick a podcast on when I'm walking. Yeah. And there's tons of podcasts. Yeah, well, I was just about to say, there's a couple of good podcasts that I've heard.
Couple one.
So, yeah, it's those small incremental changes that are going to build habits, and the habits are what makes or breaks it.
Once that's happened, then, how do we continue?
I don't know.
I haven't figured that one out.
It's so easy to fall back into the old habits. It is so easy. And I think you've got to set yourself new targets. So for me, the big one last year was the wedding. Yeah. Got to the wedding, went on honeymoon, came back. I knew that I had a new target, but it wasn't the right target for me. I should have had something else in hindsight. So obviously you would be in talk and you said, right, here's a Christmas target. I want you to get to this weight. I want you to be able to do this. Yeah, that's great at the time. In hindsight, and I know I was having this kind of fight with myself, I should have said something else. I need to do something else. Don't know what that is, but that probably wasn't the right target. And I should have had the courage, or I should have had the insight to say, let's do something else and have a bit of a dialogue. So as a coach, as a client, what I would advise people to do is talk to your coach honestly. If they're saying something, don't just say yes because it's your coach. Say, I don't think so. Now, they might call bullshit on it, which you probably would have, but that dialogue would have possibly generated a new strategy which would have made us more successful rather than not being as successful as I could have been.
I mean, you brought it back round to you. I was only asking if you could help me a little. But I'll tell you what, actually on that, we might as well talk about that there. Parkinson's Law. Where, do you know that? Have you heard of it?
No, I can't remember it. But
you will remember it. So it's basically like whatever task you get given, if you're given a time frame for it, that's how long it's going to take you. So an exam, a paper.
Yes,
yeah. It's not due till June. So you do it the week before?
Yes. Yeah.
So this with your goal where we set it September all the way till April, which we set a lot of people the goal. Yeah. Long fucking time.
Yes, yeah.
A long fucking time. And most years, or whatever, whoever else we give, say, like a bit of a plan like that too, you'll just be waiting until the January. But then you'll storm it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've left it when we could have That is Parkinson's law.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it isn't psychologically, I'll just wait till then. It's for me as well, and I don't know, again, I'm just using myself as an example, taking it back to me, horrible bastard.
No, but it's good.
So from my point of view, last time, I didn't have a clue what was going to happen. So whatever happened each week, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Where this time, I look back and I go, well, that time last year, I'd lost, I don't know, £3 that week. Why haven't I lost £3 this week? Well, it's not working. What do I need to change? And then I start thinking of ways to optimize it rather than just do everything consistently.
Yeah.
So looking back at that, and I've been thinking about this recently, obviously starting the new plan in January. So in January, my plan is just get those things done. Don't worry about anything else. It doesn't matter what the numbers say, just do the thing that you need to do.
Yeah.
Because I think far too many people get caught up in what has or hasn't happened. And again, talking to the guys that I train with at 6 a.m, well, I've only lost a couple of pounds this week, or I've put £1 on. Have you done the things that you've done? Yes, right. Don't worry about it, just do it. But I think, and again, it's kind of like a teacher role. People want to please the coach. People want to say, look what I've done, and get a big tick, big gold star. And so they get caught up in trying to get the gold star rather than just doing the things that will get them the gold star. It's kind of chicken and egg. So I think, 100%, my aim is not to think about it. Just steps, nutrition, like just what's on the cup, what's on the cup. Yeah, steps, nutrition, sessions, nothing else. I'm not worrying about it.
You know what, with the cup, it was like, because we've banged on about the blueprint and everything for ages, right? And I said this to Sarah and Joe before we got that. I was good. We haven't actually wrote a blueprint out.
Right.
It is mad because we've always called it like the 3 RT main habits.
Yeah.
But we also say, we just follow the blueprint. And it's like, we haven't fucking even wrote it out. And it was like, wait, how simple can we make? Because like, I have actually done it, by the way. How simple then can we make it? Because I don't know if you've ever seen any of me posts. It's like, I don't know, you've got £20 to lose. And instead of thinking, I've got £20 to lose, it's like, okay, we break that down, that could be £1 a week. How do we get to the £1 a week? Well, the £1 a week is actually, I've got to track that day, I've got to train that day, and I've got to get 10k steps in that day. And then it's like, well, have I done them each and every day? And that's all you've got to focus on, the daily goal.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. And it's so hard if you're trusting that, if you don't trust the blueprint, and I mean trust from maybe an experience or trust from a lack of self-confidence.
Yeah.
You can do it, but if you're not seeing those numbers move, it's where accountability can sometimes, I think, fall flat, is because you know you've got to be accountable, and you know you're going to have to say, this hasn't happened. I haven't hit this weight. I haven't tracked today because X has happened. Like I left my watch on the charger, went and got me steps, and it looked like I only got 3,000 steps. And I was like, I'm going to have to say to you, I'm doing it publicly now. I didn't get me steps, but it was on the charger. Shell has, and I was with Shell. So she recorded it. She was there. And it's that accountability is you want to kind of apologise because you haven't got the results that you in your head think you should. Yeah. Where really the results are in the data, as you keep saying to me. And when you sent us that little video, it's like, so don't think about it. Just do the things that the data is going to show, and then it won't happen. And so. Yeah,
one thing you realise, you don't have to up your foot with steps.
Well, well, no. So it's those things. So I think it is just for everybody. Don't sweat the big stuff. Just get the 3 things done that you're told to do, and everything will fall into place. It just might not fall into place as fast as you want it to, is the kind of other side of that, is patience. Everybody wants Alexa to just give them the answer straight away. You need to wait for it. You need to have a bit of delayed gratification.
I think I'm going to end it there.
No.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.